If I had pulled over when the lights first flashed, I wouldn't be telling you this. That's the part 1 replay. Not a crash. Not a struggle. Just a quiet decision on an empty highway, the kind you make without realizing it's a turning point. People imagine danger as loud. Screaming tires. Shattered glass. Someone running. This wasn't that. This was controlled. Measured. Polite. And that's what unsettles me. Because behind the calm voice and the helpful tone, something darker was lurking. Not in the way movies show it. Not dramatic. Not obvious. Just patient. Watching for the moment I made the wrong choice. I was in college when this happened. Young enough to still believe most people were decent. Old enough to be driving alone at midnight. That detail matters. It was the end of a long week. Papers stacked up. Back-to-back shifts. Too much caffeine, not enough sleep. I left campus later than I meant to, telling myself I'd make up the time on the freeway. My sister lived about an hour and a half away. I'd done the drive so many times it felt automatic. In daylight, it was forgettable. At night, it stretched. The freeway emptied in layers. First the commuters disappeared. Then the clusters of cars thinned out. Then it was just long-haul trucks and scattered headlights passing in the opposite direction like brief, distant stars. My car was old. Faded paint. A soft rattle somewhere near the passenger door that only showed up when the road was uneven. Nothing impressive. Nothing that would attract attention. The heater hummed near my feet. Windows up. Music low. Half a tank of gas. 40 minutes in, I felt that strange isolation that only happens on highways at night. You're moving fast, but the world feels paused. Exit signs glow. Overpasses come and go. Every few miles, another patch of darkness deeper than the last. That's when I noticed the SUV. At first, it was just headlights in my rearview mirror. Then the brights flashed. I squinted, adjusting the mirror slightly. It happens. People forget. Maybe they hit a bump. I kept driving. Then it flashed again. Not random. Timed. A signal. My stomach tightened before my brain caught up. I checked my dashboard. No warning lights. No temperature spike. No strange vibration in the steering wheel. The engine sounded normal. The road felt normal. Flash. Pause. Flash, flash, flash. 3 quick bursts. I eased slightly into the right lane to let them pass. They didn't. The SUV stayed behind me. I sped up a little. They matched me. I slowed down. They matched that too. That's when something shifted in the air inside my car. Nothing visible. Just a change in how the silence felt. I turned the music off. The quiet made everything sharper. The hum of the engine. The faint whistle of wind around the windows. My own breathing, suddenly too loud. The SUV drifted left just enough to stay visible in my side mirror. Flash. Longer this time. I checked my phone at the next red glow from the dashboard. 18%. That number felt smaller than it should have. Up ahead, an exit sign appeared, one of those lonely freeway stops you only notice when you need them. A gas station. Maybe a fast food place. Maybe a motel with flickering lights. Everything surrounded by open dark. I told myself something reasonable. If I stop, it will be somewhere bright. I turned on my blinker. The SUV followed. I took the exit. It took the exit. The freeway noise faded behind us, replaced by a deeper quiet. The gas station lights glowed ahead like an island in black water. The SUV stayed close now. Close enough that I could see the shape clearly. Large. Dark windows. No view inside. Then it honked once. Short. Controlled. A reminder. The brights flashed again. So I pulled into the gas station. There were 2 cars at pumps. A semi parked along the side. The store lights were bright, fluorescent, humming faintly. Not crowded. Not empty. I chose a spot near the store entrance. Cameras above the doors. Glass windows reflecting the lot. The SUV pulled in behind me. Not at a pump. Behind me. Angled. Blocking. That's when the reality of the positioning settled in. I couldn't reverse easily without maneuvering around them. Not impossible. Just inconvenient enough to slow me down. I locked my doors again even though I knew they were already locked. The driver's door of the SUV opened. A man stepped out. He didn't rush. He didn't slam the door. He walked toward my window slowly, hands visible, posture relaxed. The way someone walks when they know being seen is part of the performance. He stopped a few feet from the glass and leaned slightly toward it, as if I had already rolled it down. He started talking before I could hear him. I shook my head. He smiled. Not warm. Encouraging. He pointed toward the back of my car. Then down toward the rear tire. Tapped lightly on the window. I cracked it just enough to hear. Your rear tire's throwing sparks, he said calmly. You've got something caught under there. Saw it on the freeway. Sparks. I repeated. Rear passenger side. It's scraping. You need to look. His voice didn't rise. No anger. No urgency that would attract attention. Just steady pressure. You didn't feel it, he asked. No. You will. He stepped slightly aside, gesturing toward the back of my car. Come look. I'll show you. That sentence settled heavy in my chest. I'll show you. It wasn't about my car. It was about getting me out. My mind raced through logic. Tires are rubber. If something metal was scraping hard enough to spark, I'd hear it. I'd feel resistance. There would be noise. Smoke. A smell. My car had been normal the entire drive. I'll call someone, I said. His smile tightened for a fraction of a second. You don't need to call anyone. It'll take 2 seconds. No. I'll ask inside. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. I'm telling you. It's sparking. You don't want a fire under your car. It sounded practiced. Smooth. Like a line used before. I put the car in drive and rolled forward, closer to the store doors and cameras. He stepped back immediately, hands raised slightly. Just trying to help. That phrase. Always reasonable. The SUV repositioned as I moved. Adjusted its angle. Then he crouched briefly behind my car, out of my direct line of sight. That moment disturbed me more than anything he said. I couldn't see what he was doing. Seconds later, he stood and returned to his SUV. And waited. Engine running. Lights off. Watching. I got out of my car only when I was directly in front of the store entrance and walked inside quickly, locking the door behind me. The cashier looked at me, then glanced outside. Are you with him? He asked quietly. That question confirmed everything I hadn't wanted to admit. No. He locked the store door. I connected to the Wi-Fi and called 911, explaining the flashing lights, the exit, the story about sparks, the way he had blocked my car. Stay inside, the operator said. Outside, the SUV moved. For a second, I thought they were leaving. They weren't. They relocated to the darker side of the lot, near the edge where the lights didn't fully reach. Then another car pulled in. It didn't go to a pump. It parked beside the SUV. Headlights off. They didn't get out. They just sat there. Together. And that's when it shifted from him to they. Two vehicles. Engines idling. No urgency. Just waiting. The operator kept me talking. Asking small questions to keep me steady. I watched through the glass as both cars remained still, positioned just outside the brightest part of the lot. Minutes passed slowly. Then a patrol car turned into the gas station. The moment it did, both vehicles started moving. Not fast. Not panicked. They exited casually. The patrol lights snapped on and followed. Both cars left. Together. Later, at the station, an officer reviewed the details quietly. He didn't brush it off. He didn't suggest misunderstanding. He said something I haven't forgotten. They wanted you stopped in the dark. Not on the freeway shoulder under passing headlights. Not in front of cameras. In the dark. The flashing brights weren't about warning me. They were about guiding me. About making me doubt myself just enough to comply. If I had pulled over immediately. If I had stepped out to just check. If I had walked to the rear of my car where the cameras couldn't see. I don't know what would have happened. And that uncertainty is what lingers. Because there was no violence. No shouting. No weapon shown. Just a patient attempt to separate me from my car, from light, from visibility. After that night, I stopped pulling over for flashing brights. I stopped assuming concern meant safety. I started driving differently. Parking differently. Watching mirrors longer than necessary. Even now, when headlights stay too close behind me at night, I feel it again, that quiet shift in the air inside the car. Because sometimes headlights aren't trying to warn you. Sometimes they're steering you. And once you step out into the dark, you may never step back in.